What's up, guys? Today I'm bringing in an Alolan Marowak with double grass. And if you notice here, neither of which are Razor Leafers. And the main reason for that is that this team doesn't really have hard counters against some of the main flyers of the meta right now, being the Skarmory or the Altaria. So we do need to kind of just split up that role between the Alolan Marowak for the Skarmory and the Ludicolo for the Altaria. And of course, Shift Tree is serving the same purpose as the previous video, kind of being our sack swap for a lot of situations and baiting shields as well as drawing out counters. So coming in right here in the first battle, we are seeing the Drifblim against our Alolan Marowak. So a pretty good lead to see the flyer up front. We are going to try to go for the Bone Club bait here, hoping to pick up this shield and set us a little bit ahead, but unfortunately he does not shield, so great read there. This is going to be the Shadow Ball, so we do have to shield this up and fire off the Shadow Ball of our own. So at that point I probably could have just let my Marowak go down, save a shield, and bring in Shift Tree, but I ended up choosing not to. But here they are able to get to the Shadow Ball before we are, and at this point we do bring in our Shift Tree. And we are able to farm down, so that was a really good situation for us there. A Galvantula comes in. I am going to go for the Leaf Blade bait and try to conserve a little bit of energy there. We are able to get that through, and the Foul Play comes in and will do massive damage to that Galvantula just because of how squishy it is. And then of course, this lunge will be more than enough to take us out since we are taking super effective from that bug. And of course, Ludicolo will come back in last, able to farm down. And Ludicolo is a fairly bulkier Pokemon, able to take a lot of hits, which is definitely very helpful for the front line that is fairly squishy. And the positive thing about the Ludicolo and the Shift Tree as well is that its capabilities of handling that Azumarill and the Galarian Stunfisk duo that we see so often. So coming up next here, we do match our Marowak up against a Cherim. So pretty good here, and we are doing super effective off these fire spins. This charge move was way too fast, so it definitely has to be the Weather Ball. And sure enough, it does very minimal damage here. And we are coming up to a Shadow Ball. It does seem like we do a CMP tie. Taking the Weather Ball, of course, no problem there. And if they don't shield this, this will definitely take out the Cherim. And they decide to let it go. In comes the Azumarill. So at this point, just because they're already down their first Pokemon, I chose to go into Ludicolo as opposed to Shift Tree instead, knowing that if end game we are matched up with that Azumarill to my Shift Tree, then it's no problem at all. And in comes the Altaria, which is good because this is what we want to match up with our Ludicolo. So I am of course going to have to shield all of this in endgame, aim to land an Ice Beam on this Altaria. So we're going to pick up the second shield here. At this point I am noticing that the switch timer is nearing, so I am going to commit a shield here. I don't believe that Dragon Breath will take us down since we do have the switch timer up. We are getting to the Ice Beam first and then swapping out into that Shift Tree. Unfortunately, we do take an Ice Beam, or Play Rough right here to the face, dealing massive damage, but we are able to fire back a Leaf Blade and doing quite a bit here. And at this point they are able to farm us down. And man, is the Battle League really laggy right now. So in here we are bringing in the Alolan Marowak, and they do what I was expecting them to do, being that just immediately fire off the charge move, which is great here, just because we were able to absorb that on the Marowak. I was trying to get to the Shadow Ball pretty quick, and hopefully able to take out the Azumarill, which we do, and Altaria comes back in, and of course, this is why we saved that Ice Beam for this very moment. So Ludicolo still a very good counter to Altaria, of course, with that Ice Beam, and able to save us from that situation, as opposed to choosing a Razor Leafer instead wouldn't have really won us that game. So between Ludicolo and Shiftry, we are able to pressure a lot of leads like this in terms of the Whiscash, just because we just need to land one of our grass type moves. So we do swap in knowing that they're really going to swap out, of course, and in comes the Shiftry. So we are going to try to pressure some shields, but end up taking a hit instead. And we are going to let our Shiftry go down here and farm up with the Marowak. At this point, we're looking pretty okay. I do try to farm down as much as I can here, and choosing not to fire off the charge move because I know I wouldn't be able to get to it anyways before I take a sky attack. And we are going to save shields here, just because I know that Whiscash is going to have to shield this Shadow Ball because it probably won't appreciate it. And they decide to take it, which is honestly even better. So Ludicolo will come in, and we see it behind an Azumarill. So again, having these Ludicolos in the back has been very helpful for people who are hiding the Azumarill for end game. And hoping, most likely going to have to shield up all of these. And I do find out that it is an Ice Beam, so later on we'll be able to absorb one of those, just because I didn't want to take the risk of down the line having that Whiscash potentially charging all the way up to a Blizzard, which would do a lot to the Ludicolo, even though it's still hitting for neutral. So Ice Beam's still doing a decent amount for neutral, and I do want to farm up here because there is still 2 shields. At this point, I probably could have fired the Bone Club off, but my play honestly was a little bit more to farm down the Azumarill instead. They read this play and end up swapping into the Whiscash instead. At this point though, I am loaded up to 2 energy balls and very easily able to take out this Whiscash, taking of course 4 times damage from grass. And the Azumarill comes back in, and we are very comfortably able to bubble down. So good game by my opponent there. That was a little bit of how we handle a more of a poor lead in terms of that Whiscash there. So now we are going to see another Drifblim, so a very popular lead for a lot of matchups right now. And this time though, we're not going to make that same mistake, going straight for the Shadow Ball, as opposed to baiting for the Bone Club instead. So they opted to fire their Shadow Ball, which is great. We wouldn't want to have to take an Icy Wind bait and set us back. And they decide to let it go. So immediately knocking that out. In comes the Shadow Machamp, which is great to see right now, just because I do not want that thing paired up with my Shiftry. Shiftry would not be able to appreciate that, and that would also give the Shadow Machamp opportunity to farm up a lot for end game. So I am opting to let my Marowak go here and bring in Ludicolo to farm up. So I'm going to shield here just in case it is the Rock Slide. That would still do quite a bit, just of how high of an attack Shadow Machamp has. And in the back we see yet another fighter in Lucario. So very spicy team here with a double fighter to my double grass. And unfortunately here I was saving Shiftry for an end game, hoping to see something like an Azumarill or a Galarian Stunfisk, but Shiftry's not going to appreciate seeing the Lucario instead, and Lucario is able to charge up another power-up punch there and take us out. So great game there. I love seeing the Lucario in the Great League, not something we see often, but yeah, excellent gameplay by my opponent there, and the double fighter. I really haven't seen many of those. So in comes a Galarian Stunfisk, which is a pretty decent matchup for us. We do have to shield up these Rock Slides, as they will do quite a lot of damage. But our Bone Clubs will be doing super effective back to the Galarian Stunfisk. And they opt to shield as well, which is really a good situation. Preferably, I would prefer them to shield instead. And here I decided to swap into Ludicolo, hoping to soak up a charge move. Rock Slide and Earthquake, of course, will be able to get soaked up by that Ludicolo. They bring in a Azumarill to counter the Ludicolo, so that was a great thing to see there. We're thinking that maybe whatever they have in the bag won't appreciate grass. So that's good just because we have the shift tree as well. Able to soak up the play rough right here and go for energy ball. I did want them to bring us pretty low so that we wouldn't get farmed up anymore after this, just because we wouldn't be able to get a charge move off anyways. And in comes the Haunter, so even better. Shift tree comes in here, and this is very quick, so I definitely know that this is the Shadow Punch, so definitely not being able to deal that much to us. Foul play will come through here, most likely going to get shielded, but at this point Shift tree will be able to outpace this Haunter, and able to get to another foul play, and of course just one-shotting this thing. I haven't seen a lot of Haunters this season, so it's definitely cool to see one switched up. And of course here we're going to have to shield this Rock Slide, very comfortably able to get to another Leaf Blade, and my opponent knows this and calls it the game. So that was a very nice set there, showcasing off my two double grass leads into my Marowak. Definitely a versatile team and can handle a lot of the current meta right now. Definitely give it a shot and tell me what you guys think. If you have fun with it, definitely drop a like and consider subscribing because we post very frequently every single week. Thank you guys so much for all your support lately, and really I've been enjoying making these Season 4 Battle League videos, and biggest thing is able to connect with all of you to be able to kind of discuss a lot of strategies and commentaries and stuff, and I've just been having a blast and having a lot of fun, which is really the main point of this channel anyways. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.